craftsmen also still had to work on their own fields to take care of their families. There were too many workmen and not enough people with enough money to be able to buy the goods. Wide trades were in Wasungen at that time.
In 1803 there were 50 shoemakers, and in 1851 already 94. There were 90 weavers in 1847. In 1853 there were 22 cutler, 12 farrier and 13 nailsmiths.
There is only one smith today in Wasungen. There you see Christian Weibrecht, the last smith of Wasungen. In 1853 there were 13 bakers in Wasungen. Here you see a saying which you can find in many bakeries. Old bread is not hard. No bread, this is hard. I think it is so. The bakery Mittelsdorf from the year 1768 is the oldest one in Wasungen. It still exists today. The base and cookies are well known in Wasungen and Bicount. You can see.
Here you see tanners at work. There are products made by hatters. Here you see basket makers. These are wicket baskets. Some of them also came with their owners to America.
This is the last watermill of Wasungen. In former times, millers worked here to grind grain. There also were rope makers in Wasungen. There were also soap boilers and their production. Here you can see pot made by potters.
This picture shows cart wheels made by cartwrights. In the next pictures you can see joiners at work and some of their tools and products, furniture. There are carpenters specialized in building houses. Especially important for Wasungen was the growing of tobacco. Cigarette makers made cigars out of it. 1659, the Wasungen citizen Wilhelm Heumann brought tobacco into the Werra Valley. In 1826, there was the first tobacco factory at the marketplace of Wasungen. Wasungen tobacco has even sent to Prague in Czechia.
In 1851, there were 6 tobacco factories in Wasungen. Here is a tobacco factory. Many people in Wasungen made cigars at home, also my great-grandparents. Until about 1965, tobacco was grown around Wasungen. Also in Waldorf cigars were made.
A lot of girls worked as a housemaid for rich people. They had to care for the children, to cook, to bake, to sew, to iron, and to clean the house. But mostly they get treated and paid badly. A lot of the housemaids emigrated. In the next picture you can see some of the people who lived very well, for example, executive, merchants and factory owners. The life of farmers and workmen were poor. In a report of 1841 you can read: wooden table and benches, the stove a monster of iron and tiles. Under the stove carrots are dried and turned as a coffee supplies. By sides one chopped up wash bath for the whole family. No tablecloths, only on Sunday and with guests. Food changes between tomatoes, beans and peas, between mash, flour soup and water soup. Beer, milk and coffee substitute are drunken. Only very rarely were meat. In winter only one room is heated, the kitchen. The people get brushwood from the forest, which is forbidden. If the children are taken hold of them, they are brought to the church and school office. Wooden material is hung in front of the windows. In unheated rooms, icy crystal glitters on the thin, loam walls. Bedrooms are mostly to find under the roof, often under the bare roofing tiles. All is wet and clammy. During the night, children and parents warm each other, several persons in one bed. This is the attic of the Persianness. Weiter. Zurück. Ich muss mitlesen.
Life in winter became a little bit more pleasant because of the so-called spinning rooms, where girls from 60 years on meet to spin and night together. Young men made music and they all sing together. Many marriages were spent here. Working workmen and carters brought new songs and dances from other areas with them. Annual celebrations like weddings, christenings, Thanksgiving and Christmas brought change in the hard everyday life.
In the 40s of the 19th century, the social situation between the poor and the rich men got worse all over Germany. There were different riots, for example, the Schlesien Weber Uprising, in German der Schlesische Weberaufstand, in 1844. The situation developed into a revolution, which had its summit in 1848. There were barricades fights in Berlin, but also in the Dukedom of Saxe-Meiningen. There were riots which caused action of Bavaria and Saxonian troops and of troops of Weimar. On the 18th of March 1848, a civil defense of 80 men formed in Wasum. Some women saw a black, red, golden revolution flag with the town coat of arms on it. In this picture it is seen in the Wasum Museum. In July 1848, the Wasum Major was degraded. Already in the 21st of March 1848, there were a law to see free people from the Duke. But the success didn't last for long. The revolution failed. Afterwards, many revolutionaries were chased and immigrated to America. They were called the 48ers. Most well known of it is Karl Schutz. A result of the political events was the foundation of lots of associations. This is something really typical in Germany.
The first association in Wasum was founded in 1813. It was a club of men singing together, also a men singing club. In this picture you see the members of this club of 1913. Here is my grandfather, who you can see before as a little boy.
The Citizen Association was established 1848. The Short Association was founded 1861. The German Sport Association had its origin in 1862. The Gardening Association was founded 1867.
Today Warsaw has 33 different associations which all makes the cultural life in the town interesting. Finally, still a remark of the chronographer George Bruckner, who characterized the real Warsaw inhabitant in 1851 in this way. Innocent, simplicity, practical understanding, simply character, and a stupid mind, stuck to traditional things, a something narrow worldview, unfortunately connected with slander. If this is right, everybody might decide himself. I'm at the end of my presentation. I hope I haven't bored you too much and thank you for your attention. Perhaps you have noticed that the tame clothing was missing. This is following at a small movie. Thank you.
I'll have a song, and it's going to be, I don't know what it is. It's number 68, A Mighty Fortress is Our God. Kathleen, would you introduce this song a little bit? After that, Eberhard has a film of the costume. It's a parade of costumes, the traditional Trachten, I think, right? Trachten. Anyway, does everybody have a program? We have the words printed in German and English for this hymn. We have some more programs if you need them.
We would like to invite all of you to stand, to get the wiggles out a little bit, and to sing this Auf Deutsch, the first 4 lines of each piece. If you could sing them in German or try to, and then the last 5 lines of each verse sing in English. This is A Mighty Fortress is Our God. This is a piece that was originated in the 1100s. And it's a piece that has adapted through the years and sung in great faith by the German people. So let's sing it with heart and soul. Thank you.
So it starts out by an extra bird, this instrument.
back on. We want to thank Eberhard and Petra Wolf and Chrissy and Stefan for doing this wonderful presentation. I thought it was very interesting. Now, there's another film. Martin Heiner was a master weaver. And as was told earlier, weaving linen was a very, very important occupation. And in the presentation, you said there was, how many weavers? 90 weavers. Yes, in Vosingen about that time. Certainly Martin Heiner did not bring his loom with him, but when he came to America, he got another loom, and my aunt, she didn't know Martin, but she knew Martin's son, George, and George's wife, Sarah Jane, would use the loom, and she used to weave. So I think Martin taught his wife and also maybe some of his children how to weave. There is a film, and I think it's going to be over here. We'll begin the potluck lunch, and anybody can go over and watch that. It's silent, but I do have a printout of an explanation of each of the steps of weaving, and it's linen. It's weaving linen. Oh. Do you want to show it to me now? Oh, okay. I wanted to have a few comments today. I've got just a second. I want to talk about some of the other activities we've done. This is kind of a 5-day reunion. Eberhard and his family came on Wednesday evening, very late, but they wanted to see some of the historical sites in northern Utah. So on Thursday, we went to the Golden Spike Memorial up north by, it's west of Brigham City, and a couple of the Heiner cousins met us up there too. That was very interesting, and then we went to Antelope Island and saw the Great Salt Lake and saw some antelopes and buffalo. I've never seen an antelope on Antelope Island, but the wolf family saw them, so I guess it's true. But we saw buffalo. Yesterday, we came here to Morgan yesterday, and Eberhard taught high school. We had a class, the AP European History class. There's 2 sessions, the first period and third period. And so Eberhard and Chrissy did a presentation of a short version of life in Germany in the 1850s to the high school students. Then we came over here to the city office across the street and met the mayor of Morgan, Ray Little, and we had a little get-together, kind of a little ceremony, and there was a gift from Vosingen to Morgan. And then we went to the Historical Association, which is in the library over just behind the city office, and met with the president of the Morgan Historical Association, Linda Smith. Linda said did you come? She said she wanted to come, but I wasn't sure if she would make it. But she has done a wonderful work of. She pointed out that the Germans are so careful to keep records in history. The Germans are the best historians in the whole world. And Americans were kind of careless about that. We've tear down historic buildings. For example, Martin Heiner built the first rock house in Morgan County. I knew that house. I grew up two doors down from that house. And it was getting old. It was getting kind of beat up and decrepit. And I went on a mission in Japan and came back in 1972 to find that Martin Heiner's house had been torn down. Now his son, Daniel Heiner, still has a house, and that's actually got a historical, I think it's a U.S. historical building designation. And on the other side is George Heiner's house, and that was, and then on the other side of George was Amelia's house. So there are 2 or 3 Heiner houses, but we're not very careful in America to keep our history, to keep our legacy. And I think we need to learn, we need to take a chapter from the German heritage and honor our heritage, honor our history, and keep our legacy strong. I think the young people need roots. We need to share this history with our young people and our friends and cousins, because that's what makes an identity for someone. There was a study made in the New York Times. There was an article about a study of teenagers who, what group of teenagers get through crises and hard times in their life better. And they studied different groups. They found that the teenagers, that everybody has hard times. You know, there's deaths in the family, there's loss of jobs, loss of employment, loss. But the young people that did the best, that got through those crises the best, were the ones that had strong family ties. They had strong family identity. And those were the ones that, because they knew Grandpa had hard times and he got through it. He lost his job, he lost all his money, and he got through it. I can do it too. So I think this is very important. And I really appreciate what we've learned from our German friends here. I know that Eberhard has been so excited. He wrote the magazine about immigrants overseas. You wrote it with Uta, and it's very well done. They published 300 copies of the magazine in German. And Eberhard asked me, well, how many Heiners want copies? So I sent out a notice to everyone, and we got so much response that they decided to translate it into English and make a second edition. And they made 300 copies in German. We ordered 500 copies in English. It's the first time they've ever published a magazine in 2 languages. So Eberhard is, I think I don't know why you're so excited about the Heiner family. So what I've done,
Sorry, I'm not a Heiner. But I think today I'm a Heiner. I think in the moment I'm a Heiner in my heart. Thank you.
well, I've actually taken a step in that direction. I'd like Petra and Eberhard to come up here, please. And I have printed honorary Martin Heiner family membership certificate. It says, This certifies that Eberhard Wolf is officially adopted into the Martin Heiner family as an honorary member for life. He is entitled to all rights, privileges, and honors